Thank you. My name is Errol Ahmed. I have a small research outlet. Can I have two questions? Okay. The second one first, because it sort of relates to the subscription issue. We just were offered on Friday approximately, allegedly 40,000 yen worth of merchandise to subscribe for 3 months to a national newspaper. We rejected that. It's not something that happened last Friday. It's been going on for like 10 years. So first, I want to know if this is legal. And if it has got any impact on stubborn subscription numbers. The second question is on the censorship issue. On the day of the March 11 earthquake, all the TV channels were making these experts, they were airing them to get their opinion, and I had the opportunity to have a very frank chat with one of them approximately 2 months later in May 2011. At that chat, he said that he was a very famous professor, by the way. He said he was the first one to point out the Fukushima issue, and when he was talking in one of the major channels at the headquarters, there was a phone call from the Prime Minister, not himself, but his aide, I guess, and a piece of paper was circulated. It says, Fukushima no koto furuna, so don't talk about Fukushima. And he said he was very upset because the anchor person actually passed the paper without making any comment. And he said, I will never talk to the TV stations anymore because they have no sort of ethical barrier. They just let me to see that paper. So that's, he thought as a major censorship issue. Whether you have any opinion on the general, I had just one anecdote like that. These are the two things. Thank you.
Okay. In terms of subscription, I think in conjunction with the question, former question, your question, the numbers or nominal number of circulations are quite different from the actual numbers. I have to add. They also give us there are statistics, ABC statistics that they give the circulation numbers, and that was based upon that circulation numbers, the price of advertisement is calculated. So they give some numbers, but in reality, it's rumored or said that the number of the circulation has been sagging more radically.
Are they manipulating the numbers?
Yes. That's the rumor, or that's what's been discussed and said. So the reality, how the circulation numbers are, is quite different from how the statistics shows. So, and it's called oshigami, pushing papers, that they push these papers to the small delivery stations, and they don't know what to do, so they, so to say, secretly ban these papers to somewhere else. So there are rumors, and if you see the internet sites, you will see these, so to say, news of about this black market of the newspaper black markets. I haven't confirmed these yet, but it's quite it's talked quite openly in the market. So the second question, so that also answers your question that in UK and they are dropping, that the drops are quite more enormously. Maybe in Japan, it's not like this, a little bit more than what we see in the statistics. And secondly, the censorship, well, so what I couldn't understand your question to me, that how I feel that government censorship or...
Well, I mean, is there a policy or written or unwritten? Of course, it's not written.
No policy. I hope.
You're an academic who is an expert on journalism in Japan.
Yeah.
I understand. Do you have any views on that? Have you ever researched that? Mine is just an anecdotal thing, but it was a primary source, so it's not a room.
Censorship.
Maybe let's say like this, how far do you think is the influence, you said it's agenda setting. Agenda setting is just by content. They try and the media follow. This is a different story, this is a direct influence. And how far do you think the Kante or other
Well, it was
ministries
a very extraordinary time, so...
might influence directly into the, let's say, headquarters of media?
I mean, the word censorship is a very strong word, so, and I think you wouldn't say that as a manager of the Asahi or Yomiuri that we got censored today or something like that, so, and even if I interview them. So, I mean, you know more about this than I do, first, how these kind of things happen, whether you get calls from foreign ministry or Kante or somewhere, and whether you call this censorship or not, I don't know. And the second thing, maybe I can imagine, this is my imagination, that understanding of democracy and how you cope with information and what the relationship between government and media, the normative image of how government should stand towards media is a bit different from what you would imagine as a Western journalist. So if you work here as a foreign correspondent in Japan and you say, oh, that's not censorship, here it is, you see Japanese journalists that got censored, but from the Japanese point of view, maybe they would say they have just a good relationship. Yeah? So it's a matter of how you define censorship. And democracy is a free press, free flow of information. As you question quite much about that. Japanese people don't want to have free press. Maybe this kind of sentiment has something to do with it, that we have different position of how you see the censorship. But I can't really say that I have never conducted any interviews, and even if I would conduct interview, they would never say that we got censorship yesterday, in a way. But on the other hand, in terms of, for example, pornography or other things, there are many other research how they got censored, in a way, in the name of indecency. And it's another debate, but political censorship is very difficult. It's very tacit.